Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billy's the wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billy's here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing.
Good morning, Billy's. Welcome. It's Tuesday morning, 9th of September 2025, and we want to welcome you to WUB Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes on Crumb Radio and on XTV. I'm Mose, Hyde, and of course a warm welcome to every listener of Crumb Radio, viewer of XTV, those getting us via apps or via social media streams, those linked via simulcast coverage. We're glad to have you here with us this morning to start the day. We trust that your health's great, your energy levels high, your vibes positive, and that you've got time and space. Flexibility in your morning routine. You could be a part of the show. You could check me out, spend some quality time. And if at all possible, we want you to make every effort to link with us, get involved, get engaged in the conversation, because ultimately that's what this is designed for. All right, so rules and regulations aside, we got business to get started here. We've got your morning news. Before we drop the morning news on you, we've got a bit of weather update from the National Meteorological Service. We've got forecaster Michelle Augustine to line us up with today's general weather forecast.
Morning radar observations show a few showers and isolated thunderstorms affecting most of the south overnight, with the activity gradually decreasing this morning. For today, a light east to southeasterly airflow will support generally fair weather. The forecast is for sunny skies with cloudy spells today, and showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few more over the south. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times, with a few showers and thunderstorms mostly over southern districts. High temperatures are expected to reach about 90 Fahrenheit along the coast, 95 Fahrenheit inland, and 84 Fahrenheit up in the hills. Tonight, temperatures are expected to drop to about 84 Fahrenheit near the coast, 75 Fahrenheit inland, but only 68 Fahrenheit up in the hills. Winds are out of the east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots, producing slight sea conditions. We are currently experiencing a low tide, and high tide will be at 5 minutes after 11 this morning. The moon sets at 7:28 this morning, and the sun sets at 1:06 this evening. In the outlook, a few showers and thunderstorms can be expected mostly over southern districts on Wednesday, then over most areas Wednesday night. And finally, in the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. And that was this morning's weather report and forecast produced at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And now news. After receiving the police report on the abduction of Joseph Budner on Friday and finding it to be incomplete, Prime Minister John Bisenya Monday announced that the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Anthony Richard Wasado, is to proceed on administrative leave for 45 days with immediate effect. The PM explains that the leave is in the context of the unsatisfactory report in view of the public's high interest in the matter and the grave allegations being made against the police department. During the investigation, to be led by Deputy Commissioner Suzette Anderson, Deputy Commissioner Bartholomew Jones will act as Commissioner. The full report is expected by the end of the month. The PM says Cabinet will then act swiftly on its recommendations. The release adds that the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Police Department will provide periodic updates in the ongoing investigation as appropriate. The development is unprecedented. Dr. Wasado took over as Commissioner in early May this year after an unusual transition period. Notably, the release from the Prime Minister did not make any reference to the release of the original surveillance footage requested by the media. High Court Justice Antoinette Moore Monday denied bail to 21-year-old Christy Guzman, who was charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of 28-year-old Wilson Hernandez. Guzman will remain in remand at the Belize Central Prison as the case proceeds. She is set to return to court on November 7, 2025. While the prosecution did not object to bail, Guzman was viewed as a flight risk as she does not have children and is not employed. Her attorney, Harold Hamilton, had argued that she could surrender her travel documents, abide by a curfew, and do weekly check-ins at the police station. Over the weekend, a Facebook user posted an extended version of the surveillance footage that captured the moments before Hernandez was killed. It shows Hernandez pushing his common-law wife, Darla Veas, in the back, after which she goes around the white car and meets Guzman at the rear portion of the car, where she hands over a firearm to Veas. The weapon had been taken from Veas' purse. The entire time, Hernandez's mother is behind the car trying to calm the couple down. Hernandez then chases after Veas and Christy follows behind them, but all three then go off frame. The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, in a late release on Friday, called for an immediate and thorough Senate inquiry into the abduction of freelance reporter Joseph Budner to determine any role Belize law enforcement and its leadership may have played in the crime. The Congress points to the video evidence, which it says shows the disturbing scene where a Belize police officer, rather than intervening to protect a citizen being forcibly taken against their will, appears to have engaged with the alleged kidnappers and subsequently turned away without rendering assistance. The video evidence suggests that rather than protecting a citizen from being forcibly taken, law enforcement may have actively facilitated this illegal act. The NTUCB makes clear that it does not condone Budner's alleged criminal activities, but at the same time expresses concern about the complete abandonment of due process and the rule of law. It emphasizes that no person covered under the protection of our Constitution should be subjected to extrajudicial extradition, especially not with the assistance or willful negligence of our law enforcement apparatus. Apart from a Senate inquiry, the NTUCB is calling for full accountability for any officers who may have participated and those in leadership who may be behind it. It also demands an outline of actions to be taken to prevent a repeat of such an incident. The Belize network of NGOs Monday issued a press release supporting the call by the press and civil society for an independent investigation into the abduction of Joseph Budner. BNN says an independent investigation will help identify those responsible in the event there were human rights violations and breaches of international treaties and national laws. It writes the breach of rights for one, left unchecked, puts at risk the rights afforded to us all. A team organized by UBAD Educational Foundation UEF met yesterday in Belmopan with the Minister of Education, Honorable Oscar Rekenya, and other education officials regarding UEF's Natural Hair Law campaign for schools and the workplace. UEF Chairperson Yaya Marin Coleman reported that a press release is to be issued by the end of the day today. She outlined who participated alongside UEF and shared how the meeting went, calling it historic.
So on the UEF delegation, some people that we invite were unable to make it, like one parent from Dangriga and one parent from Southside Belize City, who have knowledge about hair discrimination based on their own children experience. Working class people, difficult for in the middle of Monday for just jump up from a party and then come to Belmopan for a meeting. And the Belize Association of Principals of Secondary Schools said that their representative could not make it. They never gave no reason why. Russ Rubin, who represents the Rastafari community of Belize, it's really difficult for him having his own business and having a family and children to care for, was unable to make it. But that not mean that these people are not truly committed, invested, and want to see a resolution to the two human rights violations of Belizean students being denied the right to attend school based on, my wording, colonial European hair rules. We had Marshall Nunes. How could I forget on the UEF side, when Marshall Nunes, who represent people with disabilities in Belize, and he was instrumental in this conversation. I could definitely say that the vibration was positive, uplifting, hopeful, and remember that UEF to lead this. So this is from within communities. And our top-down approach, the one bottom-up commitment. The Ministry of Education put out one statement about what happened today. It'll be posted on their Facebook page, and they will send it to the press office by the end of the day tomorrow, because Wednesday they're on holiday. And so definitely we held the Ministry of Education accountable, no doubt, but definitely give them credit, because this is another norm for the state sit with everyday people and genuinely hear with respect, and we've collectively agreed on how we're going to chart the way forward. So I encourage Belizean people to stay engaged with this initiative for as much as possible, learn more about human rights, about these two human rights violations of Belizean students being denied access to an education based on hair rules at schools. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. So I learned a lot from the meeting today, and I give we the people credit. So I really want to give thanks to the people who support this initiative so far, for the prayers, for the guidance of the African ancestresses and ancestors, the Creator. And this is a truly one remarkable historic moment where people come together collectively in their own interests. We understand that there's some people who have a different position, and for them voices is just as important to be heard. This is critical, that this concerns all Belizean people, and we owe it to ourselves to hear each other out and then choose what's best for all of us, especially within the Belize Constitution framework. Only the people and save the people.
And that ends the morning news update inside of WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We now take ourselves a small break. When we come back on the other side, conversation time. We're going to open up the line and you'll be able to get involved and express your views and thoughts. We'll be right back. You're listening to Creme Radio, watching XTV.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
welcome back. This is now conversation moment. This is business open for business, ready to take your calls inside the WB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Our telephone line is 280-5848. And each weekday morning, we are always excited about this part. This is when we get down to the business of conversation. Here on Crumb Radio and on XTV, I'm Mose Hyde, hosting today. And again, a reminder, we know they have to talk to ourselves, we know they have to preach, we know they have to give our sermon. We love reason, we love engage, we love renew the on. So feel invited, in fact, feel more than invited, feel almost duty to come in and make the whole world hear how you feel, where you the thing, what's on your mind. Because anywhere you're there, any part of the world, you are able to access what's going on here, because not only are we live on radio, live on TV, but we are of course online, and you can get your full daily requirement of your WUB nutrition right here. Download our apps on your device, so of course you can get us linked on social media. That's the way it works. We had a bad morning yesterday with phone. I hope that's not replicated here this morning. We had some problems, delay and so on. Hopefully it has all been resolved and everything is straight and aligned inside WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's the 9th of September, the eve of the 10th. Of course, tomorrow is St. George's Key Day, 10th celebrations. So that's going to kick off. We're going to be covering the 10th ceremonies tomorrow, so you can link with us here, Zing Friends coverage of the official 10 ceremonies. You can get that right here. That's a programming note, of course. But right now, we got a conversation and I've got my first call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Morning, Mose. Morning, please. Give thanks for line definitely to the work this morning. And it's our morning when it needs for work. After, I would say particularly because of the state's response to the demand of the Belizean people. I know I say I read it surprised because I read it like I know they usually have one person want to take the file. And I would have said it from being on a long journey for Belizean people. I really want to celebrate and recognize Belizean people by joining by putting the organization position on record and holding the state accountable. I think that it might be the 17 or 18, I have to check my numbers. Because of the countdown from the time that Joseph Budna was violated, kidnapped, handed over to the Guatemalan people. And I definitely in solidarity with the position where the media houses take. And like, you have not even send out a report. I just go along with XTV and one less letter I have to write. But I want to continue, keep on countdown, because there are two things that I feel that would not let go of. That the uncut video footage must be released. Like, we're not a compromise on that. Go ahead and high water, the uncut video footages must be released, one. And indeed that there needs to be an independent body to hold security services accountable. We had on last week, Thursday, we had our attorney, Leslie Mendez, and she made the point that in Jamaica they have INDECOM. Now, it's the Independent Commission of Investigations, and there are some critique about it. I feel that there needs to be a working group of credible Belizeans who are committed long term for lead from below, and not let it up to the state. This is for we interest, for lead from below, to learn more about one group like INDECOM, for Belize have something similar, and to make this not happen ever again. So I really encourage you for thinking in that direction, and I left it up to the state. Secondly, it's Tuesday morning, and since the Bad Education Foundation started, and it would be today's day 401 or day 3016, our second year at Advocacy for natural hair law, for ensure that Belizean students are no longer denied access to education based on not following school rules. We are being more active in expanding the conversation to the Minister of Labor, Florence Marin Jr., and the Minister of Culture, Francis Fonseca. Yesterday we had our first meeting with the Minister of Education, and I'm in my excitement. I never named everybody on the team yesterday, and it's important that I do that. For Build Trust, I know I'll share what was said at the meeting, because we have to talk with our collective voice. So the Ministry of Education, because the Ministry of Education responsible for education that is country. UEF, as a community-based organization, organized with other people and will hold the state accountable. And so we recognize that they agreed to meet with me yesterday. And on the UEF team, it mattered to me in a brief interview I gave XTV yesterday, for saying who the people will never come because they're not working class grassroots people. And for their voice and presence matter, they just couldn't make it yesterday. Being the two parents, one from the south, one from Southside Belize City, and Ras Ruben from Vegan, vice representing the Rastafari community. We had invited the Belize Association of Principals of Secondary Schools. They said the representative could not come and they never said why. But who did come and who were active in the conversation, the president of the Belize National Teachers Union, Neda Callis, and then she bring another representative with her. And then we had Cynthia Pitts from Belize Human Rights Commission, and we had Marshall Nunes, the coordinator for the disability desk within the government of Belize. Then you had me. And then on the government of Belize side, Ministry of Education, we had the Minister of Education, Oscar Kenya. You had the Chief Executive Officer, Diane Castillo Mejia. You had two Deputy Education Officers, Cecilia Ramirez-Smith and Terry Westby Longford. A statement will be sent out later today. It will get posted on the Ministry of Education website and sent to the press office. Now, you know, they're going 19 years where I do community work and activism. I come from one hand much time along with a minister and very seldom. And this one will be memorable for me because I find the Minister of Education, my first experience with her as the Minister of Education, to be humble and an active listener. The vibe was positive. And I respect is due me that the Ministry of Education building the Belma Pan. I definitely took up space to chair the meeting, and everyone had something to say. It was healthy, robust. We never always agree, and especially when we did not agree, the willingness to hear each other out and respect what one another say, it's different. Culturally, I believe I find that we have one difficult time working together as a group, especially when you sit down with people who have power, and that we really felt as equals at that table, and we're really hopeful moving forward. For Build Trust, I know I'll come out and say something where, as a collective, we don't agree on, but because you have lead it, and I keep the report to people and keep people engaged, then I feel that I had to say something yesterday, and of course had to call you this morning and say something. One of the things where I never know, and I really think Marshall Nunes should be given a space to say it, I never know the process where Marshall Nunes, as the coordinator for the disability desk, gone through to get the disability legislation passed. And it was really a bottom-up process. So I think Marshall should share that process with the public. And it's important to make Belizean people know that there really is power in people organizing from below, having the knowledge and the confidence to hold the state accountable and say that it really could work. And so I said the same thing for Belizeans as it relates to needing an independent body to hold the security forces, which could be the prison, police officers, everybody in the military, accountable that they cannot keep investigating themselves because they're not authentic process. So big respect for people power for both of these community interests. It really materialized for how only the people want to save the people, and that people remember that we have living example of people winning. We complain a lot about winner work, but if we sit down and reflect enough, we entire history, I believe, from the point of when African people were enslaved. For we history have examples of everyday people organizing in their own interest and winning. Because the state not teach our story from a people's perspective, they teach it from the government perspective, their stories are often missed, not told in a fullness, because this is what inspire people, make people believe in ourselves and know that we can hold power accountable and make meaningful changes. We'll only make the quality of our lives and unborn children's lives better. So, Belizean people, I encourage you, take a deep breath, especially when we not agree on a position. For hear what somebody has to say, especially when we not agree. Not personalize it. So how you could still learn from it. Be willing to consider your position, or you could still hold to your position, but be willing to hear something different and see how you could still use it. Because only when we work together with kindness, with authenticity, and good intentions, we want genuinely win as a people and improve with quality of life. I don't know if you have anything you want to say, my brother.
I just, I just want to say, and I've said it before, but I love saying it when you're there on the air. You don't know everybody cup of tea, and you don't try to be everybody's cup of tea. You know, compromise upon that. You know, interested in popularity. You're interested in outcomes, and so, and into maybe recently you get a little bit more. I wouldn't say diplomatic, maybe a little bit more, a little bit, I don't know what are the words.
I'm maturing, Mose, I'm maturing.
If you want to call it that.
Growing.
Right? But for those people where look upon Sister Yaya and say, man, she got too much. Sister Yaya that only too much for you until she there upon your side in our cause, and then you will realize, oh, this is exactly what I need. And so there are very few people who consistently demonstrate what resistance, activism, and organizing and people power really looks like. You find a list of people where they do that consistently. Stop taking people for granted. Stop just dismiss because there might be moments and certain things you don't agree with sister's position or her viewpoint, and that's life, that's natural. We're not clones of each other. But give fundamental respect to the body of work where Sister Yaya, and I say, and she's on the phone, and the way that she has approached, and understand that the same energy she brings when reactions and responses are unacceptable is the same level of energy when it is the opposite. And so I just really want to recognize your sister for, and I know you've become, you're not really bothered by the by those who misunderstand or those who are offended by your energy. They don't really bother you, but at the same time, I feel, especially within our community, that maybe sometimes we are, there's that, what I call it, the patriarchy, where we're uncomfortable with leadership being demonstrated by a woman, and very often when we think of a Messiah, we think of a man. That's how we see. When I say a Messiah, I don't mean the biblical Messiah or Messiah complex where we are looking for that savior. And so I just wanted to say a big thank you, but also to say to our community, recognize the consistency of your strength, and understand that a lot of what is being accomplished is you might not immediately or personally benefit from some of the things that have been accomplished by all that you have represented. I'm not saying that you're a singular person. I'm not trying to dismiss all the collaborators and all those who have been a part of the energy, but just to say, listen, sister, big respect and a big thank you.
Thank you, Mose. I take my flowers right now. I appreciate the public acknowledgement. Belizean people meet me out the road almost every day. Whether they agree with me or not agree with me, and tell me how they feel. And there's nothing. When I'm in a community and I connect with people, it fuels me. It humbles me. I feel loved. Even when they have a thing out of me, they're not in agreement, that I still receive it with love, that we in our country where we could express how we genuinely feel. I don't take it personal now. I might catch you for a low vibration there, I might holler something back at you, but because of that, because I'm human. So but I really want to thank the Belizean community, because truly, and make I take one pause and recognize the fence, because you have biggest flex because we have our own media house. Having our own media house give we one reach where we could have never have if we don't have our own media house. And until I'm going to talk to Brother Akamotota, who is a revolutionary and Sunday Review co-host on Trinidad, I never recognized most and listeners, viewers or streaming online, that in the Caribbean, when the Black Power movement started in the late 60s and 70s, Trinidad was a stronghold, but we don't hear about Trinidad. We don't hear about Jamaica and Grenada, but that Trinidad is the stronghold. But of the entire Caribbean region, when it has Black Power movement, Belize is the only Caribbean country that had a Black Power movement and built something tangible that is still standing, like a media house. No other Black Power movement in the Caribbean region don't have nothing where they could show per se. This I found the Black Power movement organization or organizing powers, and that big. I want to flex even more past Zinc Fence, and Zinc Fence could be where it is, without we struggle, it had never has a people power. Now we said that, and I really want to believe that people, that are not just our slogan. That's real. If people never support Zinc not me and there for the 56 years at Mandela, about to be 36 years at Crime Radio, about to be 22 years at XTV. That's the evidence of people power. So on the look on the surface in the mirror, Belizean people, and never want to forget, even the one in the diaspora, never forget that we have unity that believes. And even though UEF look after the interests of African people racialized as Black people, when we win, all other Belizean people win as well. So big respect is due to us collectively, Mose. All the people want to save the people.
Give thanks and respect. This is WUB Belize Morning Vibes. Our telephone number 280-5848 on this Tuesday morning, the 9th of September, the eve of the 10th. And we welcome your participation, your contributions, your thoughts, your views, your opinions. Of course, a lot of stuff going on. The Budna saga, of course, continues. Krem, good morning, WUB. You got to lower your radio, your TV. You got to lower your radio, your TV, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
All right.
I know I big up Florida, but I want big up whosoever put the light from Belcan Bridge. I want big up Miss Lisa from Health and the crew. They did, Lisa and woman I were, they did look into the pool thing. By Iguana Street and come back on Antelope Extension and come straight away. So respect to that, you know.
Alright, my brother.
I still the ball for the 2 bump by the Presbyterian Church and school back on Antelope, then just road back here. Extension, you know.
Okay. But the lights are back on Belcan, I didn't know that. So
yes, man, whosoever uses the initiative and put the light and well deserving, you know, I'll big up, you know.
Alright, respect.
So we need the attention back on Antelope Extension. Miss Lisa did send a crew back there for help, and they did spray, you know. I noticed the netting and malaria thing.
Yes, sir.
Look into the pool thing. I think they want to suck out the pool, and then they want to put, you know, chemical around or in and out.
Yeah, man.
So big up to Miss Lisa for help and the crew. And I still look into the bump back on Antelope Extension, the Presbyterian and the school. And then the Dust Road back cabbage and one by Cemetery and one by Raccoon Street. Yeah, well, name was respect.
Respect, my brother. Alright. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We have a call. Krem, good morning. Go ahead.
Morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. What's going on? Your voice sounds like it's back.
Well, it's not like you know about you know. More, first before I get into where I want to get into, I want to thank the people there for show up and show out. Big respect to all the sponsors and who make Martin's Fest what it is. A community who bring people from all over the country in our space. To show that we appreciate them, we appreciate their attendance, you understand? Big up the team and make it possible. You know? Big up the people like Angela Mala, Cardell, the whole team behind it, we're gone tirelessly for just make XTV, Creme Radio, for just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? The sponsors never make it happen. The police department to play their role. Great for show their strength. You know, JNW, you know? Like I say, I don't forget nobody. Oh, a BEL to give it power. You know what I mean? That's why I thank everybody, man, to just make the thing happen. Mose, you know what child did, right? From some preacher. Due to dehydration.
Yeah.
Start. I was still here for the ministry of health.
Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. It's 2025 and we are not talking here about a child that lives in a remote village somewhere in Toledo where it's even then we're talking we know the challenges of living in deep remote areas where access roads and stuff might be difficult, but you're talking here about a child that lives on the richest piece of real estate in this entire country. Do you understand me, Brick?
A
child that, let me finish, a child that lives on an island that has 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
A child that lives in a place where per square foot bringing the most money in the country.
Yeah.
And we are not talking here about the child having some you would say, and I think this point was made by the senator yesterday at the opposition press conference, and I have to agree with her, Senator, I think it's Senator Pitts, that this was not this was dehydration. Obviously, dehydration in a young child has to be taken very seriously, and you're on the clock. You're on the clock. There's a ticking clock when you have a child. Obviously, I would imagine that the dehydration was caused because of some type of stomach infection. Must have been some vomiting, diarrhea going on, and you have a ticking clock where your response has to be adequate. That's all. We're not talking here about having tertiary care. We're not talking about needing fancy equipment. We're not talking here about needing you don't need first world instruments, technology to address a child that has dehydration. What you do need is to be extremely focused, to be extremely on top of it, and to make sure that you are able to administer the IV therapy to make sure the child does not go into shock and die. I'm not a doctor, but I'm familiar with a child having such symptoms and the need for the response to be timely and for it to be done. So when there is a failure for that, when you are looking at a situation where you're forcing a family to have to get on a boat to come into town to get a child, get access to IV, there has to be accountability. You've got to find out who failed the child. And you shouldn't have to wait so many days for that to be established and put to the public, that every effort will be made to hold whoever is accountable for, in what I have to, at least with not having privilege to all the facts, but what has been put to the public so far, somebody didn't do their job. And I think the point that you are making is absolutely fair. I know that they did interview the Prime Minister out on San Pedro when he was on San Pedro, and he gave some comments about the hospital. But what we need to know is that the Ministry of Health comes out publicly. They should have been out already and said, we do not accept that this should have happened, and we are going to hold accountable whoever it is that failed this child. Again, this is if the child was, say, at home and came in late and you know, they were unable to really get the child recovered because the child was already far gone. This is not what happened. What has been said out to the public is that they could not find some vein and then say, well, you know, they can't find the vein. Like, I feel like there has to be a thorough investigation. I don't feel. There has to be a thorough investigation. We assume there is one going on, but you can't be quiet. You can't just do it and not come and say, listen, we don't accept this. This nothing happened. This is 2025. It's not like the child had some stage 4 cancer or some heart condition. The child has an infection and dehydrated and died as a result on the way to Belize. You can't accept that. You absolutely cannot accept that.
My thing about it is that it's very disturbing to know that we reached to a point there where something like that is the first time happened, with something like that have to reach to where it reached. My point is that by the end of the day, it outright show clearly that we don't care no more as a society. We don't care.
I disagree with you. It does show that we don't care as a society, because a lot of people are very upset about what happened. So I think when you say that, when you say care, that is what we need to find out. It would seem like somebody, persons, didn't care about the situation with the child. And you have to find out. And the Ministry of Health, again, we assume they are looking into it, but we shouldn't have to be assuming. They should have already come out and say, well, we based on what we know so far, this now look good, and we have to hold people accountable and find out who failed the child. But you have to come to the public. But to say that as a society we don't care, no, I think you're trying to say that you're the one with the ball out more. But no, I think I have seen enough comments and I hear enough people talk on this. People don't like what happened. Trust me. People hear that. People hear. Again, everything is being caught on video. And again, I don't understand. I everything is being caught on video, right? I don't know that I want to take out I don't know if I want to take out my phone and video parents at that moment. Yeah. The ball about and child like that.
That was sad.
That rough. But as rough as that is, you can't deny the fact that when the video have one impact on you. Like if you just hear about the story that one level, but when you hear the weeping of a parent over their child when they realize their child dead from a boat, it touches you really deeply. So while I wouldn't take on no video, I wouldn't video no parents at that point in time. The fact that whoever did and posted it, again, I don't get into that judgment, but it served a good purpose nonetheless. You feel me?
And then the sad part like again, Mose, is like the people we depend on, the people we look up to, and that's what we believe in. Right now, we feel weak when it comes to believing in the state. We feel are weak. There's no confidence. You can't hold no kind of strength when it comes to believing, or our system might not. He messed up. He really messed up, and he messed up north, south, east, and west. I'm talking about one lot of things happening.
Yeah.
Over the Cameroon, over the area. Out there.
Ministry of Health, you've got to come forward and say to the public what you're doing and what your response is.
I don't care what they say, Mose. Don't care what they say. By the end of the day, that's heartbroken. But you know what I like to believe? Because the poor people, Mose, poor people go through anything here. Because people who afford it and deal with it, they don't, but you don't understand. There was a sad moment that I had to tell them know that this baby come from an island. We got the best of the best treatment, best of the best doctors. And this
it doesn't have the best of the best medical facility. They've neglected that for long. Apparently it's now going to be addressed. But what you have here is you have, while this is an island of mega development, there is a huge disparity that goes on that island. You have, when you go into areas like San Pedrito area, not San Pedrito, what is it called? San Benito? What is the area where you would say a lot of where the low income people live? You would say
back at DFC?
Yes, when you go into those areas, no. So you have fancy San Pedro. You got big resort building the bill every time San Pedro, big fancy everything where the tourists see, and then you have the area where the sufferers live. And so I don't know these people, but they seem like they're working class people, and that the way have to go in your mind. Was it that because them people here are know the fancy people that there was not the investment in time and energy and focus for make sure that this child is okay? Like that has to be a concern. That has to be a question. I am not getting ahead of any investigation. I am just saying these are the things that are going to be in our minds why an investigation has to take place. You understand? We're not talking here about a situation that required, like the fanciest stuff. What it required was diligence, a focus, and a professional response. But according to the family, it seems they didn't get. again, I can't convict nobody of that and say, oh, this was utterly negligence and all of that. But it seemed the initial, excuse me, the initial information coming out seems to be pointing in that direction. What we want from the Ministry of Health is for them to be thorough and for them to report back to the public to say, this is what we have done, this is what we have found, and this is how we're going to hold accountable for whatever failure to respond properly and professionally. We need to hear from you. That's it. Right now.
But Mose, what are taking these people so long till they make the public take it into their hand? And we know the public take it into their hand. We're just assuming, because we were not there, we're just assuming based on the information that is leaked. You know, we never did it, but they, with the higher authorities, supposed to be done address this problem. Look, we find out what we can, and we find out what happened. You know what I'm saying? But because I don't even pick me. That's why.
Yeah.
Have a great day, my brother.
All right, it's 7:29. This is the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We're just getting started on this Tuesday, Eve the 10th, here inside Creme Radio XTV. We are going to take a break for 2 cents calm, our first commercial break. We'll be right back. No move. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We hope to hear from you before the morning is out. That's what we do.
Watching WB and this is XTV, and I tell you, I take a taxi run and our regular run $10 I pay, but people complain. So make I find out from the taxi money whether for them 2 cents, whether they go through on a daily basis for daily customers. The fee. Explain to me where a taxi man go through on a daily basis for daily customer.
First off, we go through a lot of things. The fee when we charge, the 10 depends on the run, the distance. For instance, from here to hospital, like $8 we charge.
Okay.
Back at Westland, even and them place, the $10.
What our original price in the city? What original run?
It depends. $10. But just a standard price at $10. But how we charge as a cooperative, we are 10 and 8 pertaining to distance, right? And the reason gas expensive, one, what tire, you're going in so you're bus what tire, that one another expense to you. You broke something for your vehicle, that one another expense. So we have to charge that price there. Something go back to the car for maintenance.
All right. What are the latest hours as a taxi man you run?
Well, we operate out here, we cater for the working class, so we do out here in the morning from before 8. We also do out here till generally after 8, but you have to keep in mind that 12 hours cycle. So we as a cooperative, we operate one 12 hours cycle. We have other members who operate later, members who continue to operate on calls, members who operate according to how the customer needs it. So the first step we try to reach and cater for the people. We try to keep the vehicles clean. We try to make it efficient, serviceable. Hey, we always ready to make that deal.
That you're too saying. How you don't feel if the taxi company Uber, you know what I'm talking about, right? With a opening a Belize, you think that affect? You know what they're 2 cents, man?
I mean, basically yes. I mean, like I say, Uber coming is a competition for us, obviously. So of course it won't affect us. It all depends on the price they want to charge too, right? So then we have to try to compete with them if they do come, which we hope not. So that's how we basically it, no?
That's your 2 cents.
Yeah.
It's September celebration time, and time again to paint up the place and more with the help of Brothers Habet and Habet. Enjoy incredible discounts on our wide selection of vibrant colors from the brands you know and love, like 15% off Berger, Penta, and domestic paints, 25% off Berger, Penta, and domestic select shelf and discontinued colors, and up to 50% off clearance paints, and lots more on clearance. We have more savings on favorites like Rhodoplast vats and products, Eureka vats, Hansgrohe faucets and shower valves, all things Moen, mirrors, Sunlight windows and doors, Piso Forte tiles, and track batteries. Come in, call or WhatsApp us today for these great deals. Celebrate this September with color and pride. Brothers Habet and Habet wishes you all a happy and safe September celebrations.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving, the Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Tuesday morning, 9th of September, 2025. Mose Hyde hosting here on Creme Radio and XTV. And always the formula is we are you are we. That is achieved by you calling in the telephone number at 280-5848. That's the direct line for you to participate in the conversation. Let's just finish off the what is important. We're speaking a bit about the 2-year-old child from San Pedro that died on the ferry on the way to Belize seeking medical attention. When we say that it's 2025 and a child with dehydration isn't supposed to die, it's not because we don't understand how dangerous a situation it is for a child to be dehydrated. But we have a call. Good morning, WB. Good morning.
Good morning, Mose.
Yes, man.
Just wanted to talk about one topic.
We're getting a lot of there's a lot of distortion in your call, though. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if you're driving. There's a lot of distortion in your call. I don't know if you're driving or if you're somewhere where there's wind blowing. I don't know, but is it?
I was I'm on my bike. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes. I was speaking to one of my friends. He's a civil rights attorney and an immigration attorney, and a lot of people got the terminology all messed up when it comes to asylum. Speaking about asylum with my friend yesterday, he said 9 out of 10 people that file for asylums get rejected because people think asylum is something that you just file in America and go through the 2-year process and get approved for it. He said the only things that will get you asylum right now in the Trump administration is having some type of court documentation about your asylum case, if it's religion, creed, violence, and stuff like that. So he's saying to me that asylum is basically a 2-year vacation for people that go to America under the Trump administration, because eventually they will be turned down if they don't have the type of court documentation from their country stating their asylum purposes. So, a lot of people got to be aware of the asylum. They come to America and find for asylum and say, yeah, I got asylum, I'll be approved and get my green card in 2 years. No! You better have some type of court documentation from your country stating your asylum, because you go through the process in America with your asylum, but it's just a process, a due process that you deserve to have. But 9 times out of 10, you have to go back home. From my friend's point of view as a civil rights or immigration attorney, what you got to say about that?
I don't know. I don't have any comments. I'm not talking about asylum. I don't know why the topic. I have no opinion on that. That's a privilege that is extended by that nation to others. It's not a right, and I could imagine that the policy and the emphasis and priorities change from one administration to the next. I don't imagine that the present administration is going to be one that favors asylum seekers. They are very clear with that. So I don't know.
And if you're finding asylum on your own, because most of the people that come to America are finding asylums on their own. You don't have to court fees to pay for asylum. You'd be more likely to be approved with a lawyer that you pay for this public pretender asylum casework and everything. I just want to give people heads up because, like I said, when I was a civil rights attorney and an immigration attorney,
you're to look out for your countrymen and women who are in that delicate position. No, that's what you're doing. It's a heads up, a good lookout.
Yes, because before.
So I don't know why you ask me what are my opinion on it. It's like I know they promote asylum seekers or asylum seeking or they burn out US over asylum privileges. That's nothing I get into.
Yeah, being poor in America or the country that's looking for being asylum, because there's millions of people in America that are poor. So that's basically that's what he's telling me about the asylum process. People come here and talk about they're poor, but there's millions of people in America and all over the world that's poor, and they can't afford to be approving people because they're poor from the country to be approved by asylum, sir. But anyway, I'm gonna take something else.
So you're in Vegas?
Yeah, I got back yesterday. Yes, sir.
All right. Where is this? Where is the fight this weekend in Vegas? Or you don't study boxing?
Oh yeah, the fight. That's why I came back because my group was working that fight with Alvarez, with Canelo, and the other black guy Crawford. That fight is happening this week at the T-Mobile Arena. We built that arena, so we gotta stay there for the electrical doors and everything. It's this Saturday. That's when it has like the mystical Independence Day, that fight is gonna be all right and everything. But yeah, it's all good, Mr. Moses. And I pick up to Big City, your crew about that Martins Festival. That was a big crowd up there, man. It was like 19th of November.
You all right? You enjoyed it? You enjoyed the coverage?
Oh yeah.
Which performer you enjoyed the most?
I like all of them. I like D.R. Shine. I know Nello Player. I know everybody from Danriga, Miami, and everything. But my main dude right now is Nello Player, because Nello Player knows how to write music. He does music, but he knows how to write music. I think Nello Player is one of the best writers in Belize when it comes to writing a song.
All right.
But anyway, guys,
gotcha.
Pick up good job.
All right. I know, man, you want to big up too much because it's easy for you to get big, so be careful. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Oh boy. All right, so just call us back. I think I might have accidentally chopped the call. Just call us right back. The number is 280-5848. There's anyone with your phone. It's I chopped you off. Just link us back. Yeah, I just wanted to just finish off this topic on the very tragic passing of a child on the ferry on the way from San Pedro to Belize, because I don't want to be misunderstood when I say that it's 2025. Dehydration should not be killing a child. A child getting dehydrated is a very serious situation. All right, I just want that to be extremely clear. I'm not a doctor, but I'm familiar enough to know what doctors have said to me and nurses have said to me over the years. Right, I'm a father. And you understand that when a child is not an adult, we can withstand for a longer period having a stomach infection, vomiting, diarrhea. But even as an adult, we have to be monitoring that. A young child does not have that same margin of error. There's a ticking clock the minute that begins to happen. And if the parents bring that child to a clinic, no, the clinic people have to establish how long, and they have to monitor and find out, okay, where along in this process, or is the child is in danger of getting dehydrated. Because if the child is reached a certain threshold, then certain things start to happen immediately. So that's what I mean by on a ticking clock. What I mean about saying that it's 2025 is that this is not something that you would say requires any tremendous amount of fancy technology and equipment to deal with. What it requires is professional care and very prompt interventions that will stabilize that child. That's fundamentally. Now, if we know that children have died who live in remote villages, we know that that happens. If there is a delay in getting to a clinic and things have advanced, but from all that we have heard so far, none of these things happened. And so we have every right to want to know that the health authorities have jumped onto this. But I have a call. Krem, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mose.
Good morning.
Good morning, Belize. Mose, just want to weigh in a little bit on that matter with the child. But firstly, of course, to express my condolences. But to also point out to the Belizean people that this is certainly not the first, and it certainly won't be the last. And as citizens, all of us need to be prepared for when it will be our turn, when it will be our child. Because that's how we exist. We seem to exist in our own little world, not understanding that when something like this hits one family, all of us are vulnerable. It's similar to injustice. When we sit and do and say nothing about the injustices that we see playing out in front of our eyes every day, it's a threat to justice to all of us. And we must learn to connect the dots in terms of how everything comes together. When we have governments, after governments going to the house and passing multi-billion-dollar budgets with no accountability, you don't get an audit of whether we're getting value for money in any one of our ministries. And then as a people, we say and do nothing really when we have our oversight institutions such as the Integrity Commission and the Auditor General Ministry doing absolutely nothing. If we're able to get accountability in terms of how our taxpaying dollars are being spent, then there is an opportunity for us to get better public service. There is a phrase that I like to use, Mose. Public service that is only for the poor is poor public service. And so that is what we will continue to get, because our public service is designed for poor people. And until we reach one sense of consciousness that we must stand for accountability and annual reporting from state institutions, we will forever be grappling with this type of poor public service. And just quickly, if you allow me to, Mose, I really want to know how we got from an independent inquiry, the call for an independent inquiry by multiple institutions, to a second inquiry by what is clearly a department that the people have lost all trust in. Is it that the Prime Minister lacked comprehension skills? We did not ask, and we're not asking for a second report. You came to the nation and you said, after receiving the report, you will decide whether we go with an independent report. There was never any conversation about a second report, and I don't want this to appear, of course, in any way, shape, or form that I'm throwing any shade on the assistant commissioner that is now being tasked. But what we're saying is, we're not interested in what's coming out of the police department at this point in time. We've lost confidence there, and we want something independent to ascertain whether a crime was committed by the very organization that took an oath to serve and protect the citizens of this country. And I want to go further by stating that under no circumstances should we remain quiet if it is that after 45 days, the government attempts to settle with the Commissioner of Police. We must get an independent investigation. He must be given due process and natural justice to answer to what occurred and why he has failed to do his duties by presenting clearly, which is another breach. He has presented an unacceptable report for his superior, which is grounds for discipline. And so I do not want to hear that we will settle with the Commissioner of Police when in fact, in my humble opinion, based on how this thing is looking, there might be sufficient grounds for him to be dismissed without costing taxpayers dollars, because if we have to settle with him, we're looking at in excess of $500,000 when you look at his age and his salary. And so it is important that we pay attention to what happens after 45 days, and that we ensure that he and whosoever is involved is held accountable. And again, I want to call on the board of directors of the National Bank, the board of directors of the Social Security Board, the board of directors of the Library Services, the CEO in the Ministry of Health, the CEO in the Ministry of Natural Resources, and the Financial Secretary and the Accountant General to write a formal complaint if it is that all of those video footages were tampered with by personnel in the police department and under whose instruction. I can state factually that in at least 2 cases they were wiped completely and returned 1 week after they were removed. Were they removed legally? Were they removed with a warrant? And under whose instructions were they removed? And under whose instructions were those original DVRs erased? And so I end at that.
But Adin, before you go, it's obviously since yesterday there's been no official response to what you have stated publicly, and again, I feel that your point is it's right on point. What you're saying. I would quickly say that putting the commissioner, you would say on what's the term they use, on leave.
Yeah, administrative leave.
Administrative leave is a fundamental requirement that had to be done. Okay, but I find this whole scenario to be to be very bizarre. We have the allegations of a wrongdoing. A Belizean citizen is accosted, is kidnapped, is transported to the border and hand-delivered to Guatemalan security enforcement individuals. So what we have is a crime having been committed.
Yes.
So then we are supposed to have an investigation. The video emerges, and then we are told that what we really want to decide the way forward is a report on the investigation. The report is given by the commissioner and it has been deemed unsatisfactory. That was deemed unsatisfactory by the Prime Minister.
Yes.
only one person has seen that report, has deemed it unsatisfactory. My understanding, when you have an investigation going on, that the police department is to investigate. The office of the DPP is then to be in, there's supposed to be a interwoven approach to how we are going to investigate, what we need, what's going on. The office of the DPP is not on the sidelines, from my understanding, right?
Yeah.
They are supposed to be very involved to say, all right, we need this, this is what is to be done, because this is something has happened, and we need to find out, you know, the individuals. We need to know the scope of this wrongdoing. This is supposed to be coordinated. If the effort to coordinate is not there, the evaluation process should not be one that is based on the political directorate. What we have here is a situation where we are now told that the investigative report done by now an interim, or not an interim, but a holdover commissioner who has now assigned it to an assistant commissioner, that evaluation of that report again is going to be done by the Prime Minister along with the cabinet. That is not, yes, that a report is to be shared with them, but that is still a very closed, that's a closed process that's going on.
Yeah.
And it is still an internal process, because the suspects are coming from now within the police department itself. So this is a very, you know, we have seen prime ministers in the past jump in like this and almost like become like judge, jury and everything in our situation, but this is not the way it's supposed to be. And so at this point in time, you are looking at a scenario where we won't make a decision on an independent investigation until the end of the month, because that's when the internal investigation report is going to be given to the Prime Minister and the cabinet. At what point? So now, you have pointed out that not only was the report, let's say the commissioner gave an unsatisfactory report to the Prime Minister, but besides the attack and the kidnapping that was done, what you have presented to the public is that there is ample evidence that there was a subsequent cover-up. So there are two investigations that have to take place. There has to be an investigation done about the kidnapping, everybody that was involved in the kidnapping, what happened there. But then now there has to be an investigation into the cover-up and how the cover-up took place. And now you're not looking at just because tampering with, I believe our laws are there for the tampering with evidence. So, but the coordination of this, at what point do we have the office of the DPP becoming engaged in this matter? Because if you don't act carefully, as you have pointed out, you have created a jackpot bonanza for the commissioner has been put on the 45 days. If you do not do this properly, all you've done is created an opportunity for a big payoff.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what the consequences are on the rank and file of the police right now. Like this is a terrible state of affairs.
And thank you, Mose. Thank you for calling it what it is, a very, very terrible state of affairs. And I want to take this opportunity to put a jab, to drop two jabs, as they would say, on the opposition. You have a duty. You're being paid. You have a duty and an obligation. You're the paid opposition to hold this government accountable by whatever means is necessary. And if all that you will do is call a press conference without any meaningful plan to ensure that justice is served, man, then we're right back to where we were when the former administration were in power, when for 13 years the now administration were being paid and did nothing to hold that administration accountable, and they ran rampantly corrupt on us as well. And what we're seeing here is corruption. We're seeing one serious cover-up, and as one news anchor would have said, is it that these people felt so comfortable doing what they did because the political directorate will ensure that those original tapes do not see the light of day. But they have something else coming. They have something else coming. They're being given ample time to come clean and show the Belizean people those tapes and to hold accountable those personnel within the police department who wiped those tapes and who gave the instruction for those DVRs to be wiped clean without being the property of the police department. So the cover-up is real. It now signals that there were in fact political directorates involved, and this thing goes beyond operatives within the police department, and that is why only an independent investigation that will interview every single person, including those institutions that I call to see under what authority did police go into those institutions to remove those tapes, under what authority, under whose authority, under whose instruction. And I will end here. If somebody can do something in my backyard, I want to be the first to know. So I still want to know how this could have happened in the Prime Minister's backyard, and 2 weeks in the trial we don't know. Really shameful. And I am again calling on the Belizean people, when these things happen to one person, be prepared for it to happen to you as well. We have paid $90 million to our hospitals, what we still not own, what we still can't go into because we can't afford. And then we're here now sympathizing with a child who should have had unimpeded access to something that's going in the cartoon, 30 million away, not to pay 90 pounds, still not own. And these are the kind of injustices that until Belizeans could make the link to good governance and their quality of life. If you can't make the link, you are forever then at this poor state of affairs, my people.
All right, brother. Dean Flores, President of the Public Service Union. It's 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Come to banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At banquet where dreams ignite. Gear Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Benquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Benquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Benquip, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Benquip, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Bomb City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I can help right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, 9th of September. Yup, and we got Belize in Ayo, wherever in the world, 9th of September, still hard to mean something to you. Get into all of the quarreling, but whatever, we grew up 9th of September, mean a nearly 10th, a big part of your whole tradition where you come up in, right? And so, respect to Belizeans all around. September of the month, we big it up. Respect is due. But it's a WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We deal with the conversation. You know how you go. Krem, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, greetings, brother.
Yes, sir.
Respect and greetings. I just want to touch on a point that is very, in my opinion, very important for Belizeans to know. If you travel, if you know about Chicago there, if you know about California there, and Florida, you should know what is in the neighbor. You should know what is Chetumal and beyond Chetumal. You should know where is Melchor and beyond Melchor. Because then if you don't know that, you will be misguided. You will be misled. I will tell you some time ago, a lady gone paying a coyote to carry to America, and the lady ended up at San Pedro Sula, Honduras, because he don't know. No, my point is, orient Belizean, those that don't know, take your laptop or when email the boy book with the world map and orient yourself. Learn geography, because if you don't know, no. The point why I'm saying this, I heard sometime the last week that Bodna is in prison at a place called Altagrapas. But then the same person will keep the news, he said that Altagrapas Peteng. So right away I jump and say, no, thank God I know those Kana pa Kana. And when it comes to Central America, I could both I know from Kana to Kana. Altagrapas is not in Peteng. Peteng is the fourth district after when you reach Melchor, the whole of that, you go inland, that Peteng. But when you cross, when you finish the boundary with Peteng, you go to another district or departamento they call it, Coban, C-O-B-A-N, Coban. It's a Mayakechi name. And that's where Altagrapas is. So my point is, Belizeans get geographically oriented so that when you hear the name of a place, you know exactly where it is. Otherwise, if the brother intentionally want to mislead people or he don't know himself where Altagrapas is, I'm telling Belizeans, please orient yourself. I remember for Lisa Hurricane, right now, my brother, for Lisa Hurricane, people, the news say, oh, the hurricane, right, gracias a Dios, that nothing to worry. Oh, no hurry, and gracias a Dios, they're on Nicaragua border with Honduras, so hurricane could have been here in 2 minutes. But because you don't know the area, you know geographically oriented. So it's important. Respect.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the enlightenment. Appreciate the guidance. Absolutely, we should know our neck of the woods. Absolutely, we should become far more acquainted, familiar, and know where to go on. And you know, I think with our level of comfort in visiting communities besides Chetumal or Yucatan, we have to know Wongia. And if we can't visit there in person, like you say, we could check it from a map. But give thanks, respect for that. All right. Krem, good morning, WB.
Hi, good morning. Listening to the situation that Mr. Bodna. What happened? There was a situation that Mr. Jules brought up about a married man that was taken from his home. I mean, everyone is talking about Mr. Bodna. Yes, he was taken. The way how they took him was wrong. Mm-hmm. He needs to serve his time to allow it to do in Belize. But what will happen to the young man that was taken in Toledo the same way, in the same manner? He was kidnapped out of our country. So will they do anything to bring him back as well?
Well, that young man, I believe, there's a responsibility for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to operate. And from what I understand to this point, that was not a situation where he was enabled, his capture was enabled by the police department or anybody that's a part of the police department, at least based on what is confirmed now, but that he was actually captured by operatives that were working with the Guatemalans or might have involved some Guatemalans as well. So that is a situation which is I would say is a different thing from the Budna situation. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not really one of the persons that is here at this point in time saying, you know, I really know got on my mind Budna in a jail and say how we get Budna out or whatever. Budna do a crime over that them people place and then he escaped from them people. No, I am opposed to how he was, how them people get back custody with him. But I know they had to try hear nothing from Budna or to make this about Budna. This about the wrongdoers were still there amongst us here.
It was the man it was done, yes.
This is about the wrongdoing. This is about the extent of the wrongdoing, the extent of the collusion, and those individuals who participated either directly or indirectly with it, and those individuals who are now participating in the cover-up. Sometimes the cover-up is even worse than what was done. So that is my driving motivation. You know, right now I think this even gonna pass Budna. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it has never really been about defending what he did in Guatemala, right? No, the next young man, it's that amongst to, based on what has emerged, borderline one situation with a foreign state colluded to capture a Belizean citizen.
Our very own.
Right? So that to my mind, that one next level, our next situation.
Okay. Because I was just wondering, because if the family claimed that he was the young man, they came into our country and took him anywhere, I was wondering if anyone can walk in and take someone when they want them, apart from our own handing us over.
Yeah. We should be on the record protesting that, and again, you know, as far as I'm concerned, nobody is trying to. I am not trying to make a saint out of Mr. Budna. Absolutely not. And again, if you have done wrong in another country,
you need to pay.
And you come back home, and you dip on home turf, I no object to a next nation wanting you to pay for what you have done, but that has to be done according to our laws. Exactly. But now that you're there where you're there, it's not like they never did with business anyway. But under the circumstances you make it home, then that puts a certain requirement on us for handle you properly and within our own due process. But again, I feel like you would be completely naive to feel that the operation kidnap Budna and put him back over Guatemala was one that was done because we had a bunch of individuals who were bothered by the fact that he escaped justice in Guatemala.
Exactly.
That was not their motivation. If you believe that, then that's naive. And I'm not speaking to you specifically. So the motivation is what is extremely problematic, because a lot of people, when they look at it and assess the situation, will say it is highly likely that the motivation behind kidnap Budna operations was because of his Facebook lives, which were being very critical of the political directorate. It's highly probable that that was the motivation. because it would still be undesirable. It would still be a crime if a bunch of people took it upon themselves to say, this guy did wrong in Guatemala and we don't like that he escaped from justice, and we want to make sure he go and get justice, or this guy that was scoundrel, sick pedophile, and we don't want him in our midst. It would still be a crime. It would still be unacceptable
because of how it was handled.
But it's a whole different matter when the motivation was none of those things. When the motivation is because you did not like the content
of his Facebook live, yeah.
No, your entire realm report, this is where now it becomes more than just a vigilante operation.
It's like they feel like they were being targeted.
Yeah, this becomes more than a vigilante operation, and we have to be extremely alert. So the people who maintain the position that this is about defending a pedophile, like I feel, are missing the point that this is beyond that. And this is why we cannot allow this to be just dismissed and put under the rug as well, you know.
Exactly.
I would kind of just try fix it. Like we don't want it to be, we don't want it to be fixed so that the baby could be put to rest. We want to make sure that we are completely thorough in finding out all who participated and who either directly or indirectly engaged in this operation, and that they are held accountable, because we can't have that kind of operation happening within our space. We just can't. And as you have pointed out, we are also have to be committed that you can't have one neighboring state violating our sovereignty by coming to kidnap one of our own.
Exactly.
We can't countenance either of those scenarios. So absolutely, we have to be against that. Feel me?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. At times it's convoluted, but it's very clear in my mind. It's very clear what troubles me the most about what took place and what has taken place subsequently. Very clear. And so right now, if you notice, I don't even spend much of the bandwidth here talking about Budna. I am not the guy where I donate one copper to no legal fees for Mr. Budna. Straight. Not at all. Not me. I'm not that guy. I'm not here condemning those who do. That's their position. That's their right to have that. I know they go down that lane there. I'm not really interested in hearing where Mr. Budna got himself in jail cell, but who that work for them, that work for them. To me, right now is about demanding that we not play band-aid fix for what took place. That is what is primary. That is the highest priority. We don't want no situation report, we know, be completely thorough. We call for an independent investigation. I don't know. I think Attorney Zaldiva made a suggestion as to how that independent investigation would look. Sorry, NTUCB, but Senate inquiry, that we don't sample that already. We get 2 samples of that, and that never nice. That never full the belly. We don't try that. So how it looks, I don't know, but an independent investigation has to be presented to us and make we say that reasonable. but telling us that you just create another internal investigation by the police department, that with no disrespect to the present commissioner and who he is assigned, that no work right now. We'll take this call and go to break. Krem, good morning. Krem, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I go on the air, buddy, please?
You're live on the air, sir.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, you're live on the air, sir.
Alright, Mr. Mose.
Yes, sir.
Popular thing. This, I've been listening to so much media houses and what's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest and the oldest media house, it look like they never sign up pay with you guys to release this video about the kidnapping of Mr. Bodna. Right? And another thing.
Who are the biggest oldest media house?
Love FM, obviously.
Well, the biggest arguable, but the oldest, no, the oldest. It's not a foundation.
Alright. Oh, I used to be Radio Believe before Love FM. Alright, cool. Yes, sir. Alright. Now.
But why? But you feel that do you agree with the demands of those who have signed that these videos are to be put out to the public?
Most definitely, my brother.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Because this government, I mean this PUP where they in right now, they are the blow over like a Libre's politician. If you understand what they say.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And I do agree, like I said, I do agree, but my concern is why Love FM never sign up along.
You would have to ask.
They afraid the sanction them for the big money when they get every year from the government or something.
You would have to ask them. I don't know.
Yeah. The next thing is, went to the Bar Association. I don't hear nothing from the Bar Association neither. I want to go in the people's stuff. They should have keep the pressure upon this stuff. Many years ago, they said Guatemala come in and Belize and take down the Belize flag and walk away with it, and so then people feel like they got upper hand away. The people feel like they run things for Belize and for Belize. See? Well, I listen to your comment after.
All right, brother. Cool. All right. It's 8:33. We will take a break and come back.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Alright, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 8:38 inside our studio. We have a call. Krem, good morning. WUB, go ahead. Krem, good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. Can I talk?
Yes, but you got to talk to us on the phone. I can't hear the device that you're listening to in the background because that's going to create feedback. Please go ahead.
Well, okay. If you hear me, I just want to suggest that the case about Mr. Budna, no?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that many people or many organizations have been calling on the government for an independent investigation. Because the Minister Mose has stated that he has informed the Prime Minister that he agrees for an independent investigation. Now there's a problem that there is no law, no written law. It's only the Senate. But the Senate, as you just mentioned, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't have authority. The Senate doesn't have no authority. Now it comes to my mind, because if government wants to have transparency and clarity about Mr. Budna's case, that the police are involved, then the best thing is that the people, that the opposition and the other stakeholders that are calling for independent investigation can make that call to the United Nations of Human Rights. And they are the ones that are that they have the authority. It's a treaty between all the world that court can come and do its investigation and can do it fairly. Because let me tell you one thing. There is a problem in my mind that why
The first report that has been given by the Commissioner of Police, and the Prime Minister has stated that it's incomplete and it is not clear. Why? They're not simple because the police are involved. Then the reason why they did that is because they know nobody can bring Mr. Budna from Guatemala jail going court in Belize. You see? They know that. And that's the reason why they're playing fool. They're not doing the right thing. They're not demanding clarity from the copper in Orange who was there, who visited the incident, saw people there beating a human being. Why was it that person being beaten? Why did the copper tell them, let's go to court at the Orange station and give evidence? Why he never did it? Because he's the police. Then he's accomplice together with the other police who were beating this man. That's the way the police has always behaved. They beat you and they fabricate any reason. And they go to court and even demonstration. So now, to have a fair investigation, it's the court of the Human Rights Court in New York. They should put their petitioners court to come in here and have a fair investigation. And that court, because it's international authority, they can bring Mr. Budna right now. Who is to bring Mr. Budna? He was delivered by the local police, and let Mr. Budna give a statement there where he was taken and parked in.
I don't know. I think it is the same. Is that the same arm of the United Nations that participated in creating the what's the unit called in Guatemala that resulted in a lot of I forgot the name of this entity that was involved with independent investigations in Guatemala, but they did some very significant work. I believe it was through a facility with the United Nations, and so your suggestion is legitimate.
Yes, that is why I tell you, that's their job. That's why they're called in the Human Rights Court.
Because I said yesterday that a part of the challenge that we have...
They can do the investigation and with clarity and with openness and with fairness because they have the authority. They can ask Guatemala and they can order Guatemala government, bring at the border Belize and hand it to the police. He will return back and let Mr. Budna give the evidence. He's the only one who has the evidence. The police has no evidence. The police at the Kappa station is a participation. He only participated in the same thing, in the same wrongdoing. So how can you expect that any police will bring out a clear report of what transpired while Mr. Budna isn't here to give his statement, to give evidence? We need both sides. Whenever there is a dispute between two sides, something is wrong between two sides, you have to hear the two sides. And if they do not bring Mr. Budna, they will never resolve this kidnapping. I'm telling you the truth. That's why I'm telling you my opinion. Let us call, let the opposition and the other stakeholders call the International Court of Human Rights to come in and do the investigation, and that will be fair. Let the government cooperate so that things come out clear.
Yeah, because like I said yesterday, saying independent investigation is a very generic term. It's just investigations are to be independent and are to be impartial. But what we really mean is we want an investigation being done by an entity that is not under the cloud of suspicion of being involved.
That's why I say that's the International Court of how you call it, Court of Human Rights, man. They do that.
Yeah. I'm no expert in all of that.
Go there and do that.
I'm no expert in all of that. What I do know is that what is presently put before us does not qualify as an independent investigation. And this is no disrespect.
We have parliamentarians, you know. Members of government, we have parliamentarians, the UDP are parliamentarians. They can do that. There's no law to prohibit it. You know, what they say in the United States Court, Supreme Court, once there was a case and something was happening serious and they asked the judge's opinion, and the judge said, you know, what the Constitution forbids cannot be done. But what the Constitution does not forbid, it can be done. You see, we can do that. The opposition can do that. They're members of parliament, they're members of government, they represent people. But they rarely understand their role, their duty. And that's the problem of politicians in Belize from both sides. I'm not defending no politician from no side. They are just there getting power and enrich themselves and be corrupt at both sides. So that's my suggestion. That can be done. Many people know that the United Nations in New York, there is a commission, there is a court for international, and abuse. And they can call them and can make the investigation. And everybody should cooperate. And then that will be an independent investigation. Well, that's my suggestion. If you do not agree, you have your right. That's your opinion. Okay? Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. And actually, thank you, Sister Yaya. CICIG. Forgot. CICIG is the name of the organization that conducted independent investigations inside of Guatemala that held separate presidents accountable and high-power individuals. Again, we know what we want. Our elected leaders have never cared about creating any structure that even vaguely resembles something that could work in a situation like this. But let me take this call. Good morning, WUB.
Yes. Once again, brother, take a few seconds of your time. Did I heard you say you don't remember the name of the place I told you?
Huh?
No, I think you...
No. I didn't remember the name. I didn't. No. I didn't remember the name CICIG, that the organization that conducted independent investigations in Guatemala.
Okay. Well, I was only calling to repeat the name to you. Maybe you could have write it down, but if that's okay, well.
No, man. Give thanks.
Okay. And the next thing I hear that they say that Budna will be locked up for 2 years until the government of Belize go to the ICJ or something like that.
No, I don't hear that.
Yeah, they say it on the other news. One of the ministers said that for now it's gonna be like 2 years until they go to the ICJ and request the extradition.
Yeah.
In the meantime, that's gonna happen in 2 years, so that means 2 years the man will be in there.
I don't know about that part, but I've not heard that. But I will.
The other news you are finding.
I do, but I didn't hear that.
They say it about 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the first I'm hearing.
The minister.
All right then. Thanks, Bob.
All right.
This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Can you do me a favor? You people who are watching us on YouTube, Facebook, follow us, please. Follow us on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, we love it, but we need you to strengthen us. And the way you strengthen us is just by subscribing. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't hurt you. It will not bombard you with anything. There will be there's no interruptions or disruptions. It's just an act of solidarity with us to show and let it be recorded that you're there with this. It helps us to remain a viable exercise in freedom of speech. So please do it right now. Subscribe. The statistics, the analytics say most are on a watch, no subscribe. We want to take the next leap. Jump in, subscribe, do it now. No wait till tomorrow or wait till later. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. It is 8:49 on this 9th of September morning. Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We're going to take ourselves our final break and come back.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 8:53 and it's time for us to wind down our conversation for today. There will be no show tomorrow. It is the 10th, St. George's Key Day. Happy 10th to everybody. I hope you have a safe one. We are going to be carrying the official ceremonies for the 10th celebration right here. So tune in, make sure. We hope you have a great day. Enjoy it. Thursday morning, we'll come back off the holiday. You're going to have Brother Nur Mohammed hosting this Thursday. But tomorrow, of course, you get to celebrate. You have a festive time, enjoy yourself. But we have to keep reminding you, the best time is when you get home safely. So avoid all that. Have your game plan to make sure that that's a priority number one. Whatever you do, wherever you're going, wherever you celebrate, make sure you do it with one level of intelligence and wisdom. Don't be careless with yourself. You only got one of you, and then you got people where they depend on you. So if you have to drive the highways, do so carefully with respect. Definitely avoid driving if you know that you want to do any kind of sipping or drinking or soaking. No mix up the things. Take your time, no need for rush. The party not done before you get there. And wherever it is you're going, go take the lead time off and celebrate your 10th. All right? Just happy 10th to all the people abroad. We know how it goes. You must feel that way. You know, they're home. You want to do it up. You could do one thing with power there. So try work it out. we want to thank the team because they make sure that the thing work. We got Larry G at Creme Radio and up at XTV, Cliff, and directing Miss Alexi Belide. Respect to everybody who call in, because that's what we try to do every morning. Get you for call in and express yourself, your view, talk it out, and make we hear how you feel and think. So give thanks. With health and strength, I am going to be back next week, Monday. So this is my last morning for the week. But give thanks. All the people on Facebook, all the people on YouTube. Respect. Make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe like we asked earlier, right? That whole strengthen we. But as always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, believe, wake up, believe. Wake up, believe, wake up, believe. Another day is here. Wake up, believe, wake up, believe. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, believe, wake up, believe. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, believe, wake up, believe. Voice of opinion and place of calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation.